In 2025, America didn't just change direction. It reasserted one. Supporters called it a return to strength. Critics called it disruption on a global scale. Allies adjusted. Rivals recalculated. And the world watched closely. From immigration crackdowns to economic shockwaves. From cultural battles at home to diplomatic resets abroad. One question dominated global headlines. Did Donald Trump's return to the White House reshape America? And the world? Tonight, we break down 2025 in review. The policies, the consequences, and the global ripple effects of Trump's second term. From his first day back in office, Trump made one thing unmistakably clear. The America First doctrine was back, stronger, sharper, and less restrained. Executive orders moved quickly. Agencies were restructured, and long-standing assumptions, both at home and abroad, were challenged. Unlike his first term, Trump entered 2025 with a loyal political base, hard-learned experience, and fewer establishment constraints. The result? A presidency that moved faster and hit harder. Immigration defined the early months of 2025. Trump reinstated and expanded border enforcement measures, including accelerated deportation protocols, expanded border wall construction, increased authority for federal immigration agencies. Illegal crossings dropped sharply in the first half of the year, according to government data. Supporters hailed this as the restoration of law, sovereignty, and national security. They argued reduced illegal immigration eased pressure on housing, healthcare, and wages, especially for working-class Americans. But critics raised serious concerns. Human rights groups reported overcrowded detention centers. Border states warned of humanitarian strain. And diplomatic tensions rose with neighboring countries absorbing deportees. Still, politically, immigration proved decisive. Trump's approval surged among voters who believed previous administrations had lost control of the border. Economically, 2025 was a year of contrasts. The administration pushed through major tax reforms aimed at cutting corporate taxes, reducing regulations, incentivizing domestic manufacturing. Supporters point to strong GDP growth, rising stock markets, increased energy production, manufacturing investment, returned to parts of the Midwest and South, fueled by tariffs and incentives to build in America. But the strategy came with trade-offs. Tariffs reignited tensions with China and parts of Europe. Consumer prices rose in some sectors. And economists warned of long-term inflationary pressure. Trump dismissed these concerns, arguing, short-term pain is the price of long-term independence. For many Americans, the question wasn't ideology, it was affordability, and opinions remained sharply divided. Few areas were as polarizing as cultural policy. In 2025, the administration moved aggressively against what it called gender ideology. Public schools, federal agencies, military institutions' policies restricted gender-related curricula, limited federal recognition of non-binary classifications, and reinforced biological definitions of sex and law. Supporters saw this as protecting children and restoring common sense. Critics argued it marginalized LGBTQ communities and rolled back civil rights. Protests erupted in major cities. States clashed with federal authorities. And courts became battlegrounds for cultural identity. This wasn't just a domestic issue. Allies in Europe questioned America's direction. Global human rights organizations issued warnings. Yet politically, Trump doubled down, believing cultural confrontation energized his base. Internationally, Trump's second term produced unexpected outcomes. Instead of multilateral consensus, he favored direct negotiations, economic pressure, transactional diplomacy. Several long-running conflicts saw progress, not through alliances but leverage. In the Middle East, renewed pressure and regional deal-making reduced active hostilities in key flashpoints. In Eastern Europe, Trump pushed for ceasefire negotiations, drawing criticism for bypassing NATO norms, but credit for de-escalation. With China, relations remained tense. Tariffs stayed. Tech restrictions expanded. and both nations prepared for long-term strategic competition rather than immediate confrontation. Supporters argue Trump achieved something rare: conflict reduction without large-scale military intervention. Critics counter that American credibility suffered and alliances weakened. But one thing is undeniable: the world adjusted to Trump's unpredictability. By the end of 2025, global power dynamics looked different. Europe pursued greater strategic autonomy. Asia hedged between Washington and Beijing. The global South leaned into multipolar diplomacy. America remained powerful, but less universally trusted. Trump didn't seek approval. He sought leverage. And in many cases, it worked, forcing nations to renegotiate trade, defense, and diplomatic terms on you. Conditions. Whether this strengthens or weakens American leadership in the long run remains an open question. So, did Trump reshape America and the world in 2025? The answer depends on who you ask. To supporters, he restored borders, confidence, and national interest. To critics, he deepened divisions and destabilized norms. But history may remember 2025 as a turning point, a year when America rejected consensus politics and embraced confrontation, sovereignty, and disruption. The consequences are still unfolding, and the world is still reacting. One thing is certain: 2025 wasn't just another year. It was a reset. What do you think? Did Trump strengthen America or isolate it? Was 2025 a correction or a warning? Leave your thoughts below. Subscribe for more global analysis. And stay informed, because the world is changing fast.